Hi, friends. Welcome again to this Great People interview series. I'm really honored to have John today as our special guest. He's a serial entrepreneur who has scaled 7 businesses in management consultancy, corporate finance, digital marketing, and even cricket bats. He is now founder and CEO of Boardroom Advisors, a disruptor in recruitment market. Very interesting model, and I'm going to let him reveal all the details about the same in a few seconds. For the Tech Spark, he has been 3 times shortlisted as Best Mentor, Advisor, and a proud winner of their Lifetime Achievement Award. That's fantastic, isn't it? He has been involved in scale-ups for both Microsoft and Oracle. He is a conference speaker and a regular business judge, including National Business Awards, Amazon Scale-Up Awards, and lots of other programs that he is a judge, he's a chair, and he's a special guest. So with that, John, I would welcome you again. Thanks for your time. I know you have been busy with so many commitments. Really, thanks for making this time.
Nice to meet you, Sachin. Thanks for the opportunity.
So would you help us understand what Boardroom Advisors is and how exactly people can benefit from what you do?
Sure. So Boardroom Advisors, we provide fractional director level people for growing companies. These are experts in finance, marketing, sales, IT, operations, all sorts of functions, as well as non-exec directors and chairs. And they become internal people for the client. They're just not there every day, really. So as I say, fractional people, they get a fraction of a very senior person at strategic level. It can be anything from a day a quarter to 3 days a week.
Wow, fantastic. That's a very interesting model for many startups and the businesses who are looking to grow and need really senior strategic people. So typically, these advisors that we would get from Boardroom Advisors, what's their experience levels usually?
Good question. So we always say the special sauce is that they've all scaled their own business. So we've got 150 advisors, all very senior people. They've all founded, run, funded, probably sold businesses. So they've been through the entrepreneur's journey. So they can help the entrepreneur, whether that's a startup, a scale up, an SME, they can help them scale and grow their business because they've been there, they've done it, they've got the t-shirts, and as we say, they've got the grey hairs. In my case, some grey hairs and some none, and that's kind of what we do.
No, this is brilliant. This is so useful, and I must say it's so unique to this Great People interview series and the audience here. There's no such thing that anybody else is doing that we know of, obviously, and they're all looking for growth, somebody to help them. They can't afford heavyweight business consultancies, and again, business consultancies are not really part of you, so it's kind of a different thing. But what you're offering is really going to be useful for many.
Thank you.
So, the next sort of thought is, how did you get this idea, by the way, and how did you got into doing this in the first place?
Well, I've been an owner manager a few times. This is my 7th business. I think I'm 109 in startup years. It's a bit like dog years, isn't it? And I've often found myself wearing several hats. I'd be founder, I'd be CEO, I'd be finance director, I'd be marketing director, and all early stage businesses, the owner manager or managers, that kind of comes with the territory. And as you get bigger and you can afford it, you start to get experts involved in the business and get yourself a finance director and a marketing director. But there's a gap in between where, let's take finance as an example, you need director level financial advice, but you don't need, can't afford a full-time finance director. So what do? Well, you might have an accountant who can fill in, but that's not quite the same as having somebody internal to the business. This is kind of where the fractional director level person comes in. So, you can start off really small. You can have a day a quarter of that person, and then it becomes perhaps a day a month, and then you get bigger and perhaps you need a day a week. And at some stage you might need a full-time person, and that's fine. So the model allows for people to be flexible and to scale up, or if something like COVID comes along, they can pause, they can stop, they can restart. And then at some stage, if they need a full-time person, then we would bow out and hand over, of course. And we've seen them through that journey, and they've had director level advice, but without, one of our strap lines is, you can have a heavy hitter without a heavy price. And that's kind of the idea behind it. But your question was, how did we start with this? Because I was an owner manager, and I've done that 6 times before I got to this particular place, really.
Yeah, fantastic. I think it's so interesting to have somebody senior who would help in that particular department, because as an entrepreneur, as a small team startup, we're doing everything. Not necessarily that's our core. And to bring in somebody at core, traditionally you bring in a partner or somebody like that. But you don't necessarily have these kind of people who are ready to be a partner in whatever business you're doing. So this is a kind of a very easy route to get to difficult people, difficult in the sense difficult to reach them or get them into help you in your business.
Yeah, and I think the other thing, if I can just say, the other thing that the other area it's quite common for us is where an early stage business has just got funding and they've got $1 million or $2 million or whatever it is, and they need to scale up quickly. Well, it's going, anybody really senior, which they probably need, it would be on at least 6 months' notice. So it's going to take them 6 to 9 months to get anybody in place. Well, we can have people that senior and probably even more senior available in 6 to 9 hours and have done so. So they can have very senior people very quickly to, let's take marketing as an example, to create their strategic marketing plan, to use the investment they just got and set up their systems and processes within marketing, while they're hiring their full-time person that might take 6 to 9 months to come along. And when they do come along, then we can hand over and phase out and so on.
Brilliant. So do you see a challenge sometimes when it comes to domain? Because if somebody is in a manufacturing, somebody's in e-commerce, and they're all saying we want marketing director, for example, but
sure.
It's a different skill set, isn't it?
Yes, and so we're sector agnostic, so we deal in any sector, and we can do that because we've got 150 people.
Yeah. And
when you get to a certain critical mass, then whatever the client's needs are, you've got a good chance of being able to find some relevant experience and expertise. So we were asked the other week to help somebody start blueberry farming in Estonia. And I thought we'd kind of met our match. Well, we had 3 advisors with relevant experience. And I just use that as an example. So fintech, yes, we've got several people who've done it. Medtech, yeah, absolutely. Manufacturing, farming,
fantastic. Yeah.
Most of us, all of us have scaled business, and most of us have, I've had management consultancy and digital marketing agency. I've had hundreds of clients. So if I haven't been in a particular sector, I've had clients who have been in that sector. So there's always something you can draw on for relevancy. And you're right to ask the question, because clients always say, oh, I need to have somebody who knows about my industry.
Yeah.
And they're right to a degree, because the client doesn't want to have to teach them how to suck eggs and start from scratch. But also, by the same token, you don't want somebody who's in the same bubble, the fintech bubble or whichever bubble it is, because actually most companies within that bubble kind of think in very similar ways. And it's useful, I think, we always recommend to clients, have somebody who knows about fintech in that example, but has also wider experiences of being in different industries. Clients that I've had personally in the past, if they've been happy with the service I provided, I ask them why, and often they say, you manage to cross-fertilize ideas from one industry to another. And if you've been in lots of industries, that's a really useful skill. Again, you don't want to have to teach your advisor, the very basics about the sector you're in, but they also mustn't be in the bubble. So.
Yeah, I think that's very interesting. Being able to apply your knowledge from one industry to other industry is equally useful as well. So I think that's a good way to look at it.
Sorry to interrupt. Because I'm 109 and I've been in different industries, most of the issues are really similar across all sectors and all industries. Yes, you're in a situation and it's very personal to you, but actually most business issues revolve around core things: strategy, growth, funding, exit. All of these core issues are very similar in most businesses. So it's, cross-fertilizing isn't as difficult as it sounds, really.
So what has actually helped you get new customers and mainly retain the customers that you had? I mean, obviously you had, your experience goes across 7 different businesses. So I'm saying, what is that formula that worked for you?
Oh, that's tricky, isn't it? I always think I think you need several things in business. I think you need a value proposition. In old money, we used to call that a USP, unique selling point. Today they call it a value proposition. It's what makes you different than your competition. And I think every single business in every single sector needs that. And you need to be able to get that across in really simple language. So we provide fractional experts in finance, marketing, IT, sales, to help companies grow, expand, and sell. If you can't explain it really simply, then it's too complicated, because the customers won't be able to understand it. So I think having something unique about your business and being able to express that in simple ways is very important. Equally important, possibly more so, is the quality of people that you have. Because if you have good people, you provide a good service. And if you provide a good service, customers, clients stay. And the secret to business, in my humble opinion, is about long-term revenue streams. And if you provide good service, if you have good people, clients and customers stay. And the longer they stay, the more profitable it is for your own business and the more value you're providing for your clients or your customers. So at Boardroom Advisors, we've spent a lot of time. I didn't really do much else for the first year, but find seriously good advisors. We've got 150 and they're brilliant. I'm so proud of the quality of people we've got, and it means it's easier to get clients because they see the quality of the person. It's easier to keep the clients because they do good work and provide value to the clients. So those are two keys for me for all my businesses.
Now that's so useful. I think it's an insight that many of us can implement and grow our businesses. And while we're growing, obviously, it's not only about marketing. It's not only about delivery of your product, but it's also about your internal efficiency and productivity, employee engagement, etc. So are there any tools that you use for your business? Anything that you want to specifically mention or recommend?
Well, yes, we have management. We have a mix of management tools that we use with clients. We often start with clients with a strategic review. This can be around the whole business, or it can be focusing on a particular area. If, for example, they're looking to exit and it's exit they need advice on, then the strategic review would focus on exit. But it can be on the whole business, or it can be on something else. One of the core tools we use there is what's called most analysis, which looks at the business mission, the key objectives, the strategic options, and the tactical tasks that need to be implemented in order to get from A to B. And actually getting from A to B is the first, often takes half the time we're talking to people. Getting everybody around the table agreeing where they want to go with the business is really, really important. And often around the table, perhaps you've got the directors there. They're all different ages. They have different personal agendas. They want to achieve different things. So getting them on the same page is surprisingly difficult. But until you do that, you can't move forward. You need to establish where you are now and what you want to achieve, so where you want to get to. And then something like this most analysis, there are lots of other tools we use as well, but that helps you analyze the strategy and the direction. And without a management tool, you can't. Strategy is such an odd thing, isn't it? Without a structure and a process to hang it on, I'm not making that sound boring, it's not, actually, it's really creative. But without something to hang it on, it's kind of like trying to nail a cloud to a wall. You can't do it. You need something to hang the ideas and the strategies and the tactics. And you create a working plan, a working strategic plan. Again, that doesn't sound terribly exciting, but it is, because it's not something you write and then shove in a drawer and look at in a year's time. It's a working thing. And you look at it on a regular basis and you say, well, that's what we intended to do. Is it working? Is it not working? Is it not quite working? We need to adjust slightly, or was that a really bad idea? Do we need to scrap it and start again? But you can move back through the levels, so you're not throwing the baby out with the bathwater all the time. And if you don't have a process, that's kind of what happens. So that's, with lots of other tools, but that one is particularly useful for us. Excellent.
So is there any specific challenge that you want to mention and something that you think, people should know how to overcome that?
Oh, gracious. Everybody has their own challenges. Strategy is my thing. And I guess one of the things the common thing that we find, and I've been there, I've been on the other side of the desk. Thinking strategically is tricky because you're there's 8, 10, 12 different things all kind of mashed together. It's kind of like a ball of string business. And one of the tricks is trying to take that ball of string and unravel it. So you've got the various threads there, and you can look at them separately. Oh, but that's joined to that. Yes, maybe, but just look at them separately for a moment. And if you do that, if you extract those threads and analyze them separately, and then try and put them back into a more ordered way, again, that's not sounding exciting, is it? But it works. And you can't think about 12 things all mashed in together. It just becomes a mess. So having anybody, outside the day-to-day is really handy, because they can take a step back. And if you have processes, then that can help you analyze direction.
Hi there. I just wanted to share with you all why London School of Digital Business is doing this Great People interview series. Well, for the last few years, small and medium businesses have been facing lots of challenges. individuals have been wondering what's going to happen to their careers because of these emerging trends and technologies, artificial intelligence, VR, AR. What's going to happen? It feels as if the world is changing. And then COVID hit, and there is a lot of depression in the minds of people. So we thought we need to bring in some positivity, bring in some motivation and inspiration. And it's all good to know these stories of, Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates. But we wanted to talk about the extraordinary stories of the people that you get to see in the ordinary world. They are no way ordinary people. They are great people, but they are the ones you can relate to. Hence, we thought this is something that we want to bring in to increase the chances of success for many, motivate them, give them the insights. And I'm so happy to share that every leader has shared completely unique and different insights because their situations have been different. Somebody was alone, and we know that entrepreneurs are alone at the top and how it feels, and they fought their challenges. Somebody had partnership, business partners, and somebody could not survive the business partnership, so they had to rebuild themselves. Somebody thought, well, I could have done this differently if I was to go back in time. So every insight is so unique. I must thank all the people who shared their journeys, and I'm sure this will help you all succeed in life, increase the chances of your success, as well as reach there faster, and of course, achieve happiness in life. Thank you for listening. Fantastic. Well, it's time for us to know more about John as a person. So really quick questions and just one word answers would be fine. What would you like to do over a weekend?
Play cricket, and play cricket.
Great.
And yes, I am old, but I still play cricket. Yes.
Right. Well, you look very young. You look fit as well. So, what's your favorite holiday destination?
Oh, that's tough, isn't it? I've been very lucky to travel different countries playing cricket. West Indies is always lovely. Australia is fantastic. Kenya was wonderful. Okay, I think anywhere that I go on a cricket tour to play. And I want to go on a cricket tour to India. I know you're from India yourself. I've been there, but I haven't played there. So anywhere to go on a cricket tour to play.
Wow. So I guess any question I'm going to ask about John, the answer is going to be cricket, I guess. Right. How about your family and pets?
Okay. So I've got a wife, Kath, who's marketing director here at Boardroom Advisors, and travels with me on cricket tours, which is brilliant. 2 sons. James has his own early stage business, and he's about to do Lux Rewards, and he's about to do Series A funding as we speak. And Chris, who's a sports coach, football coach actually, just got his professional football license. And pets, cat Ziggy, and Ziggy, he's not here at the moment, sometimes seen on the roof here, that I'm in a conservatory, and sometimes he's walking along the conservatory roof. He may show up any moment.
Oh, that's fun, isn't it? What's your ultimate goal or vision, purpose?
Well, the plan for Boardroom Advisors is for the regional directors and our international directors to run the business. I am 109, so I'm not going to do this forever. Ideally, within 5 years. But I may go on and do other businesses and probably with a charity focus is probably my personal game plan. The business itself, hopefully, it will go to other countries and expand and grow and be a global player at some stage.
Definitely, it will be. So, the final question, and probably, the question that everybody would be looking to hear the answer for is, what's your piece of advice to the upcoming entrepreneur startups as well as students?
Well, there's lots of bits of advice, aren't there? So, if you've got an idea, if you've got a passion, if you want to do it, first of all, be really clear that starting a business is tough. People focus on the excitement of it, and it is really exciting. But it is also a bit of a roller coaster. Be prepared for not everybody thinking you're doing the best thing and getting things wrong. You kind of have to steel yourself with some of the damn bits, but the good bits are wonderful. Do a plan. Get people to help with a plan. Do budgets. Budgets are really good, forecast of budgets, and you measure yourself or the performance of the company against what you've financially planned. That sounds really boring, but I found that particularly in my sixth business, digital marketing agency, that actually it gave me a lot of peace of mind, allowed me to sleep at night. All entrepreneurs have a 3:59 a.m. nightmare situation, and many of them, I had many of them over the years. And if you're in control of your business, even if it's not going well, but you know how well it's going or not going, it's the uncertainty that makes it really difficult, and that's what wakes you up at 3:59 a.m. If you know that things aren't going as well as you planned, then you can put something in place to make it better, and you can move forward. So I would say, being a planner, getting a mentor, an advisor, somebody who's been there and done it, you can listen to, take ideas from, but always, always, always trust your own instinct and gut feel. Whenever I've trust my instinct, most times it's come out right. I've made mistakes, of course, but at least they've been my mistakes, not somebody else's mistakes. It's the same as being a cricket captain. If you're always listening to everybody in your ear all the time, you're making their mistakes. Well, listen to them, take their advice, then trust your gut feel and instinct.
Fantastic.
And one final thing, keep a journal. Learn from the failures and chart the successes. But if you have a passion, do it.
Brilliant. So, John, thank you so much for your time and valuable piece of advices throughout this interview. It was great talking to you.
Thank you, and thank you so much for your time, Sachin. And lovely to meet you, and lovely to talk about my businesses.
Yes, we'll stay connected. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.